Hello, 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 everyone. Incredible greetings. Ooh, excuse me. Hello, everyone, on this good old Monday, MLK Day 2024. How is everyone? I figured by now most of the parades would be over and you guys would be, home and can maybe spend part of your day working on, your dream, your goals. And if part of those is learning about sublimation or different creative things that you can hand make or designing, now would be a great time for me to come on, for all of my creative peeps, my crafty peeps who are off on this good old MLK Day. All right, so let me go over here. And oh, wait, why am I on the wrong? I'm on the wrong site. Can I send you some of this snow? I take a little bit. To be honest, I will. Zanimani would like some snow, so I'll take a little bit of the snow that you have. Just a little bit, okay? Just enough. Make a couple snow angels, maybe make a couple of snowmen, and then that's it. That's it, okay? When you deliver it, I need it to just be delivered and then dumped like in my yard. I don't want it to come down out the sky though. Just gather it all up. Just dump it right there, okay? That's it. I don't want it to come from the sky because the chance it might not stop. So no. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Just deliver it, okay? I appreciate it. Zainamani will appreciate it too. Hello, everyone. That was me having some fun with the folk over on TikTok. I'm live on all platforms right now. All right, so we had to do that. And let's share. All right. Uh-oh. Hold on. I just realized I forgot to title this. My son gave me the perfect name, Hey Professor. And I forgot to put that in the title of this video, but that's okay. We're going to still put it in the caption. You went to see The Color Purple again on Saturday. Oh, yeah, you did tell me you had to go see it again. Let this be where your research starts. All right, there we go. I had to share it out. All right, give me a second, guys. I am sharing out the live broadcast. So bear with me. How is everyone doing? What did you guys do so far today? What have you guys done so far today? Anyone has to work? So who all is at or had to work today? They're still at work or had to work today. And if you did not work, how many of you guys worked on your business, your side hustle, your crafting, whichever way you describe it? Who worked on that today? I really don't know where I just shared this at. I really, really don't. Hopefully I shared it out everywhere because I don't know where I shared it out at. Um, I've been up watching lives and taking notes. I have a whole list of ideas. I love to hear it. I love to see it. Hello, hello, incredible greetings. Welcome in, welcome in. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for taking the time on this good old MLK day to see the notification and click on it and join us. Hello, thank you for checking in from Brookhaven. Hey, Miss Dawn, how art thou? Working on some sub shirts with Honestly Speaking submission paper, I hope. All right, there we go. Hello, everyone. Incredible greetings. Welcome, welcome in. I am Shakia, the professor of HS Inc. 365. We are the home of the Honestly Speaking brand of products where we carry the absolute best summation paper and ink that will get you results like this. Do y'all see the colors, how dark and saturated that black is? And this was printed using plain paper, bright white, set to the highest possible quality setting with my converted Epson printer and using Honestly Speaking Salvation paper. And then of course I use an oven, so you get results like this. And I'll show you guys some more things that we've done utilizing the best sublimation paper. It is the most efficient, hassle-free paper on the market. All orders before 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, excluding holidays, is shipped same day. After 3 p.m., it is shipped out the next business day. All right. We are also the home of Silaholics Anonymous, and that is where I have been teaching you guys for several years and thousands of videos later how to use and master Silhouette Studio, which is the software that is used to control the Cameo, Portrait, Curio, Alpha, Mint machines. These are like the Silhouette America family of machines. However, with my graphic designing background and knowing how to use several of the mainstream commercialized programs, I discovered that this is a great software, especially for beginners. I mean, even once you're past like the beginner stages, there's so many things that you can do in it. And I find that some things are a lot easier in Silhouette to do. It's a lot more user friendly than some of the other softwares. So once I discovered that, I have been sharing my knowledge, what I've learned, how I utilize the software, as well as the machines too, because I do have 6 Cameo machines from the first generation all the way up to the 4th, waiting to get the 15 for the 5th generation of Cameo machines. But it does so much, guys, like so much. So whether you choose to watch on our YouTube channel, Silaholics Anonymous, or take part in any of our guided trainings over on 365 Creative Academy, we can definitely help you reach your goals when it comes to designing and being self-sufficient in setting up your designs, no matter if it's sublimation, paper crafting, printed things, stuff for parties, shirts. We create templates for me to cut stuff from foam board. I mean, the possibilities really are endless. If you're doing adhesive vinyl, HTV, rhinestones, if you want to set up your design for DTF transfers, screen print transfers, white toner. When I say endless possibilities, absolutely endless, especially if you are learning from the right source. So if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, head on over to Silaholics Anonymous and make sure that you do that. A lot of on that channel, we have videos under videos as well as live. But if you search Silaholics Anonymous and whatever your keyword is, I'm pretty sure we have a video out there over the past 9 years that will be able to help you. We also have our YouTube channel, Honestly Speaking. That is where we kind of have like general talk, although today we are streaming to all platforms because it's going to be just kind of a general talk. We might talk about some silhouette stuff. There might be some questions about sublimation or DTF or Shopify or websites or marketing and branding and pricing and all that good jazz. So this is a free for all today. So we're on all of our platforms. But Honestly Speaking is normally where we do a lot of general talk. I'll do demos, especially if I'm working on like an order or something like that, or just demonstrating the way that you use our products, our Honestly Speaking sublimation paper and ink. Okay. So be sure to check out both YouTube channels and make sure that you subscribe. We also are the home of 365 Creative Academy, where we help you to unlock your creativity in a wide variety of dedicated step-by-step guided trainings, everything from design to the actual finished product. So you can check that out on our shop site, same place you can get our paper from. You can enroll there. And select classes are available directly on the Academy site, but that's where you will access your dashboard and all of your playbacks. All of our classes come with playbacks, every last one of them. That's something you never have to worry about if you miss a class, because life be lifing, it be lifing sometimes. Sometimes you just, you want a class, but it's like, man, today I need a break. I need to be able to go to sleep. Don't worry. Every single class that we teach, there is unlimited access to the playbacks. All right. So in these sessions, it is a general Q&A session. I have been in this industry long enough to know that, sometimes just watching a YouTube video, you don't quite, there's some gaps that need to be filled in. Maybe you've discovered something new on your journey to entrepreneurship or just in your crafting journey and just need someone to maybe help you fill in the gaps, understand how things work. What materials you use. Can you sublimate to black? Does anybody know? Can we sublimate to black? Is there a way to sublimate onto black? Is there a way to sublimate onto cotton? So if you have questions like that, this is your opportunity to get your questions answered from an industry expert in this field. The more that you guys are engaged, the more questions that are out there, that are put into the chat, the more it's going to help us, all as a community. This is all question driven. I don't come to these prepared with, a topic most times, unless I'm doing something like from Select Studio and it's dedicated to that. Y'all like that word gatekeeping? This is the anti-gatekeeping live video. So the questions that you have will be answered in this video, okay? Or in this live broadcast. All right, so let's see where are we at over here. Not me, I'm off today watching the snow fall with Netflix, ink, paper, and tape. She is fully Team 365. That non-staining, non-marking yellow heat tape. I promise it does not stain. It does not stain. We have hundreds and hundreds of customers that have purchased this and it does not stain. Whether you are using with a heat press, in an oven, it just doesn't. So definitely check out our website. Our heat tape comes in 6 different sizes, from 1/2 inch all the way up to 6 inches. Off work today, I had just turned on a replay. Go Crystal. If you were about to learn, I don't want to distract you. I don't want to distract you unless you were going there to learn something, like there's something specific, but go watch your replays. My name on YouTube. So we have 2. They're in the, are they still in the description? I think they are, but it's Silaholics Anonymous. That is for all things Silhouette Studio, or Silhouette Cameos. And then Honestly Speaking, that is our product line and the name of our YouTube channel. Hello. Love the replays. So, can I sublimate straight to black? No, but there are other techniques to make it possible. There is no technique to ever make sublimating to black possible. Yeah, I know. There's no technique to make sublimating to black. You can never ever ever sublimate to black. Now, you can use sublimation ink and you can use a sublimation printer to print out a print using sublimation ink, but you will never ever ever sublimate to black. She says, "You've come to Gem City. Please get your note-taking tools ready to catch all these tips." Hello, all. Finally got electricity back. Oh, wow. Working on cropping my pics, posted my rainbow already. I have been screenshotting my behind off so that I can put together this kind of like reel and just like slideshow of everyone that has submitted their homework of the rainbows and their clouds and all of their text designs from the text class on last Thursday. So thank you, thank you, thank you. She says, "I'm at work now doing everything but work." um, we're all waiting for the next assignment. Okay, so speaking of next assignment, is it that I have to say this is an assignment? Because I feel like I've done so many videos that could always be assignments, yet is it that I have to say this is an assignment and I have to say do this and post it? Because I'm like, I've done so many of these things that you guys literally could have followed step by step, but then I don't see anything posted in the groups. Okay, so Don says you have to say it. Why is it that I would have to say this is an assignment in order for you guys to be motivated to do it? We like it better when you do it live and say it. But well, maybe because like when you kind of can't, but I've always done them live and I've always done these things live. Is your website a Shopify website? If it isn't, what do you recommend? I'm a Shopify partner, so yeah, mine is Shopify. If we miss one of the 2024 lessons, should we skip to the next one, or will it really put us behind? There is no order for learning Silhouette Studio. There really isn't. There's no way for anybody to ever put it in an order because I've mentioned things in like the very first session and even the second session that probably won't come up for a few weeks. So there's technically no true order for it. We try and keep them really, try and keep them where it's not like a 3-4 hour class where you can't watch the playback of it or at least watch part of it to kind of get an understanding. Just like the 30 days, there's no order. When you guys enroll in the 30-day training, you don't have to start from, what is that, day 4, day 5, which is where everything kind of starts. And you can watch like day 1 through 4 because it breaks down like setting up your preferences, your design page setup, knowing the differences between designer, basic edition, designer plus business, and whether or not, you're going to need those depending on how you want to use the software. We go through just kind of a general outline of where everything is, just so you can kind of familiarize yourself. So those I do recommend kind of watching those, and they're a lot shorter than some of the other things. But as far as everything else, you can watch it in any order. I remember last time I suggested maybe start with the hands-on designing ones. That way you kind of see what could be once you learn the tools and functions, but there is no specific order. For the refreshers, for the original 30 days, no order. I'm not holding you accountable. So that's what it is. You want to feel like it's accountability? Because all I just said was, hey, you can go and do this. I don't feel like I'm holding you accountable because there's no consequences to doing it. I'm not checking up on you. But okay, I guess if I have to say this is an assignment, I will. Oh, I don't like that. I felt my work wasn't worthy. Ooh. Yeah, y'all know how I feel about that. Because if you're learning, you're learning. And that's why I have the student union, because everybody there is kind of sort of like, if they're there, they took a class to learn something. Yeah, there are some that have been with me for years there, but they will never ever judge. They're going to encourage you the entire way. Even if you get some feedback on what you can do to improve, don't feel like you did something wrong. You just may not be privy to those techniques yet, but we're always there to support, guide you along the way. So there's no such thing. If you go and you've never touched Silhouette Studio and you figured out how to go to text and add text to it, if you figured out how to make a shape and put color in it, celebrate that. No one's like going to look like, oh my God, that's just something basic, because some people don't. There are some folk who are not where you are. They don't know how to make a shape, make a perfect circle. They don't know where to go at to add color, add a pattern. They don't know how to add text. They're going to see that A on one side. And I literally get, but let me tell you, I get this question often. I click the A, all I see is a blue line, is a blue flashing line. What do I do next? There are those who have that question. So if you're able to finally type out your name and change the font and add color to it, I like to see it. I don't know. I like to see it. So don't feel like there's anything that you do that's not worthy. Hello, welcome to our little chant, our little page over here. Oh, that's a good question. What is the difference between Shopify versus Etsy? What made you choose Shopify opposed to others? Two good questions. All right. So Etsy is not your domain. Like, it's not your store. You would never be able to purchase a domain. So a domain is the website, and that has your name. So like, we have quite a few. We have HSINK365, www.honestyspeaking.com, Silaholics.anonymous.com, 365creativeacademy.com, HSINK365 prints, HSINK designs, and then there's some others I can't really talk about yet, but we have our own domain. So if you wanted your website, thefamilyfocuscode.com, or you can do tffc.com. Like, that's yours. It points directly to you. On Etsy, you can have a shop, but it's always going to be Etsy first. So whatever your shop is, it would be www.etsy.com/ and then whatever your name is. You're competing with, or you're in a marketplace with a bunch of different people. So even if they were coming and let's say you sent someone to your shop and it was, for an MLK shirt, since we're at MLK Day, you sent someone to your shop for an MLK shirt and they're on your shop, whatever, they're going to suggest others. Oh, you may also like these, which is going to go to someone else's shop. You could potentially lose a sale, even though you directed them to this marketplace. You could technically lose a sale because others' work are put right in their face. Whereas when someone comes to your website, no one else is going to be on there unless you set it up to where you're advertising for other companies and putting that on your website. The other side of that is when it comes to your domain and it just being yours, you have to push people there. You have to create the traffic that's going to go to your website. So it's a little bit more work on your end, where Etsy is really, really popular, just like A to Z, or I already said Etsy, someone say Amazon. Just like with that particular platform, people know that name. They're going to go there seeking things and putting in keywords, and anybody on their shop. Most people think that Amazon or A to Z is just them selling things. No, it's a marketplace as well. You and I can both have a shop on A to Z, selling the exact same things that everybody else is selling on there. People just know it. It is more of a household name. People are going to automatically go there. And when they do the search, depending on how you are ranked, you could come up. And you could, a customer that you otherwise would have never come in contact with, there's no way that you ever would have been able to reach them via any marketing that you do. They now find you and they could fall in love with you. And, you can get sales without really doing as much work. But your website, you have to build that traffic and send them there. It's a little bit more of a setup for Shopify with like your pictures, your descriptions, your SEO. Like it's a little bit different. I mean, at its core, it's kind of the same, because no matter where you put it, you're gonna need description, you're gonna need pictures, you're going to put in your variants, you're gonna have to know your pricing and things of that nature. Both platforms, you can do discounts specifically for your website. Your shipping is done kind of sort of the same, but not quite the same. Etsy, you pay them per listing, whereas a site like Shopify or Wix or GoDaddy or whichever one you choose, you pay like one monthly fee. Whether you sell one thing or you sell a million things, it's one monthly fee. That's it. Etsy, you have to pay per listing. Now, no matter which site you're using, you're not going to ever be able to escape transaction fees or merchant fees, because online, it's not actual money. They are paying via a credit card. So in order for it to process, like there's only certain major credit card companies and banks, but how you're able to take from, any credit card, any bank, it's like it's merchants. They have an account where they're going to be the ones that's going to facilitate sending money around. So they're going to charge you a percentage no matter what. Etsy is pretty standard, whereas with Shopify, depending on which plan you have, those fees can vary. Everyone always has a transaction fee. It doesn't matter where. If you're paying with PayPal, you're paying with credit cards via ShopPay. If you're paying on Etsy, you're going to have that transaction fee. So some things are completely the same. I have had an Etsy. I like having my own. It is good. Like it's not that you have to choose one over the other. I know of several people who have Etsy sites and they have their items on Etsy. They also still have their website. There are some people that have their stuff on Etsy. They have their stuff on marketplaces. They have their stuff on eBay. They have their stuff on TikTok Shop, and they still have a website. There is no rule that says because you have one, you can't have the other. It's just that you're going to pay out more money. And then now you have all of these extra setups that you have to do and maintain. I like Shopify. Just there's a lot of conversion type things, keeping up with like your taxes, like having certain reports. It automates it in a different type of way. And it's mine, right? So even though it's through Shopify, if you don't get your own domain, people are going to see myshopify.com. But when someone comes to ours, like they don't see my Shopify. I changed my favicon to where you don't even see the Shopify green bag. Some people don't know about that. I do teach that in my Shopify class, because you don't want it to be when you're looking at a computer, like right now I got 30,000 windows open. You're able to see all of like little icons. That's kind of how you know where to go. If it's Etsy, you can never change that because that is their domain. But if it's your website, you can change your favicon, and at the top, it's going to be like your logo, which is why logos are so important. If somebody wants to have a website and their logo is this full-on graphic thing that has them holding scissors and this splashes behind them, that's not going to show well as a favicon. So once they have their own website, they're going to still have that Shopify bag, and people are going to know it's a Shopify site. So there's a lot of different pros and cons. But yeah, I like being able to have a built-in email marketer. Can you have email marketing through like with your Etsy? Kind of, sort of. It's like it'll be separate, and then like just kind of having their like TikTok, you don't get access to the email at all. So you can't really build your customer base. My own site allows me to build that customer base. I can communicate with them, having a chat on there, and people can talk directly to us if they have questions about our products. There's a lot. It's a lot of pros and advantages for me, and why I chose Shopify. I think it's better for product base. Some of the sites like Wix is a little bit better. Some people like WooCommerce. because you didn't have to understand coding or setting up a website, it makes it a little bit easier. You still have to know how to design though. They don't set it up for you where it's like templates where backgrounds and things like that are already there. You still are going to have to design via some sort of outside design software, whether it's Canva, Silhouette Studio, Photoshop, Affinity, or whatever, and then plug and play, where others kind of have some things built in. So hopefully that helps. My Silhouette Plus been sitting for years because I'm struggling with the software. Well, Lady D, you are in the perfect place. I am the best instructor when it comes to Silhouette Studio. I think I've touched every single tool, every single function, and I've used it in ways that are sometimes unheard of. So you are in the right place. Make sure that you are following, and then you can check out our YouTube channel where we have well over 9 years and thousands of videos. Some are live videos and it's just kind of Q&As, but you still learn from them. I get from my audience all the time that they learn every time that I'm live, whether I'm on for 2 hours, 30 minutes or 2 hours or 4 hours or 6 hours, they learn something if they catch it or they kind of watch the playback of it. We also have a Learn Silhouette Studio in 30 days training, and we go through all of the tools and functions of Silhouette Studio so that you know how to create designs. I watched your YouTube yesterday on Shopify. A logo should be easy to convert to icon or have an element from the logo to be an icon. Correct. All right, let's see. So some people say I have to say it. I'm not going to always remember to say it, guys. But I mean, in the 30-day training, yes. But like the rainbow one was just me going on, just showing, I just wanted you guys to know how, like, what it means to make your own designs. And some are simpler and just how to make a design from one shape. So I can't guarantee I'm always going to say it on that because that's just content for my YouTube channel. Now in the class, I do say, okay, hey, this is your assignment but I've done that in every class I've had. I don't know what it is. 2024, maybe it's 2024. Y'all are really ready to stop procrastinating, making excuses, and you're ready to do it. Because every single class, I said, I would love to see what you do. The design challenges, I'm still waiting on some of y'all to post y'all stuff from the design challenges. And y'all could have posted those because we did I do, we do, you do. Motivating, but I need a little hand holding until I feel I can jump off on my own. So yes, saying it is an assignment helps. Okay. No. That is the wrong way of thinking. You should not be seeking my approval in any way, shape, or form. One, you want me to be honest with you? I have to go really like I have to make my brain look at it through a different lens, because you have to remember, I've been doing this for 26 years. I got introduced to designing 26 years ago. So what I would actually like is a lot different than others. And I don't like to put that pressure because you have to build there. Some of the stuff that I did back in the day was not cute at all. Like now that it was great back then. I was learning, and it is okay for it not to be professional grade when you are starting. It is perfectly okay. There is a space for you. Now, you can't go and say, I'm just starting when you want to charge professional type prices. Okay. There's a big difference in that. But I do have to I have to make sure that I'm giving you guys grace when I'm looking at it and looking at the stage that you're in. And I'm always going to celebrate my students no matter what, even if it's not the way that I would have done something, not how, I would have put something together. I've gone over and, I've had conversations with my husband about like some of the clouds, and we just kind of discuss like, okay, why did they do this many? But it's yours. And I'm always saying, it is yours. You are the designer. So never ever look for my approval. I can give feedback. And you can take that with a grain of salt, because sometimes my feedback is clouded by the fact that I've been in this 26 years. I had someone that just submitted something, and I'm helping them out with doing DTF prints. And it was a struggle for me because I'm like, I don't want them to feel. I've struggled with, okay, do I say something about how this is set up because it's not quite, but then I'm like, hey, if they'd have gone to anyone else, I mean, they wouldn't have gotten that. I don't know if they have time to kind of redo it, if they're really open to feedback like that. So it is a struggle for me. Don't look for my approval. I'm here to support you, but I'm not here to provide approval. What are your thoughts on print on demand? Well, that depends on what area of print on demand you are referring to. DTFs could technically be print on demand. It just means, they're printing it out. Now, if you're saying kind of like the principle, KDP is, well, that's not really print. Well, it is. Amazon has kind of a print on demand one now to where they don't print out your shirts until someone orders, like they'll have your designs. So there's a lot of gray areas in that, especially if it's proprietary and things that like you have designed yourself. It can be kind of tricky giving over that file to someone for them to kind of print for you. General things, I probably would utilize that. Make sure that you are checking quality on it. Some people just see these sites and think it's like an easy way. One, you have to remember that you're not going to make as much money as you probably would like because you're not really doing the work. You provided the design, you're sending the traffic there, you're like getting your orders, but you're not the one doing the work. So you're not going to profit more. It just depends on how much money you're trying to make at the end of the day. How much work you want to be able to put in, what type of designs you are using, if you're referring to print on demand as it relates to shirts or apparel. All right, so I did not two over there. Just leaving my appointment, going home to get some rest, no sleep at all last night, about to get into my car and drive. I'll be listening. All right, thank you. And Etsy can shut you down and ban you at any time. Well, true, because it is their platform. Anywhere where it's not yours, you can be shut down at any time. Let's see over here. I think the rainbow one, we were all excited about how you took one shape and made that design. I think that's what it was. It was the one shape thing. I got to go back and watch the calendar one again. It was a lot of information. Yes, it was. That's one where it was conflicting for me because remember, that was supposed to be one class and it ended up being two classes in one. But the design challenges, they do not come with access to the student union. But I know that was a lot of information. So I just need them, if they had questions, they need to join one of the classes that get them access to the student union. That way, if they have questions along the way that, we as a community and myself are able to help. But that one, I was like, man, I know there's a lot of people here that's really probably gonna need the support of the student union, but they just got a lot. Y'all got lucky. Y'all got lucky with that one. Like that one was jam-packed for $5. Jam-packed. Thank you for that. But gems only come when questions come. So I need you guys to be a little bit more involved. Talk to me. Let me know what it is that you need help with. What gems do you need dropped? Get ready to learn everything you want and many things you didn't know you needed. I can attest to that. I can definitely agree to that. Baby, that one was a lot. It was. It really was. And I kick myself every time I think about it and I go look at the playbacks of it because I'm like, it was a lot. That calendar one. Challenge 5 was a beast. Sometimes new people don't know what to ask, but you share so much information. A person is bound to lead. A person is bound to need something. Okay. I get that one a lot, right? So bound to learn something. So I get that a lot, right? Where people's like, oh, well, they're new. But they search YouTube. unless you're someone that, okay, I'm new, I'm just going, like, if you're someone that's just in a group and you don't say anything, you're just looking at posts and you're just liking them. If you've ever posted a question in a group and you didn't quite get the answer, or maybe just want to know my point of view, my perspective, what are my thoughts on it? Hey, that's a question. Or just getting a second opinion on something. If you've ever put in anything in a search on Google, that means you have questions. Wait, what happened? Wait, sorry, y'all. Hold on. Ooh, Christy, I just happened to go to my Facebook. Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous, darling. Gorgeous. Oh, thank you. So I definitely needed that. Thank you for that. For that screenshot. You can't be sending me screenshots like that when I'm in the middle of a live video. But this Christy thing just caught me off guard. That is gorgeous. But yeah, if you've put a question in Google, Yahoo, Safari, like even as a beginner, you've seen things that you favorited, right? If you wanted more information, so maybe that's what is something that you wanted more information on? Like, those are things I'm saying. Like, it's no, I never put a cap or a limit on what you can ask me. Thank you so much. It's because that was top tier. I like that. Yes, you can ask a question. I don't fully design in Canva, but I do, of course, know how to use it, and I've done quite a few things in there. So, of course, you can ask questions about Canva. This is an open Q&A. This is, as my son said, hey, professor. If you've ever gone, hey, Siri, if I made your phone go off, my bad. If you've ever said, hey, Google, and asked a question, let me be your hey, Siri and your hey, Google. Hey, Alexa. I don't think people say, hey, Alexa. They just say, Alexa. I think it's only like, hey, Siri and hey, Google, and then you'll just say, Alexa, and then whatever your question is or whatever you want her to do. Yeah, MJ said that we was in the car. He's like, yeah, kind of like, hey, professor. And I meant to actually put that as the title of this. I was like, that's what I'm now using. Whenever I have the Q&A sessions, it's going to be titled, hey, professor. Incredible afternoon, Shawnee D. All right, so I brought in a traced image and I wanted to add a color to it. How do I do that? Did you bring it in as an SVG, or did you did a trace and detach on it? If it's not an SVG, that's just like with any software. If it's not in as an SVG, you're not going to be able to change colors on individual elements. Or not say SVG, if it's not a vector, basically a vector file. If it's still flattened, you're not going to be able to, because they don't have an option where you can isolate contoured areas. Now, maybe if it is something that's kind of a straight like square, but you cannot manipulate how you can crop something out. Their crop is just straight lines. That's it. Yeah. So as a PNG, you're not going to be able to change any of the colors on that. Now they have it where you can go in and adjust certain things. Like they have certain filters that will change colors. It's going to change the whole thing. With any software, if you want to change a specific part of it, you have to select just that area. So if I wanted to turn my hair, it's kind of hard to turn black hair a different color, but like whether it's Photoshop, if it's Silhouette Studio, if it's Affinity, whatever it is, you're going to have to use a magic wand or selection tool or pen tool or edit points, and you're going to have to isolate that area as copy it, isolate that area, and then on that copy, which is just sitting, so you'll still see everything else, but like my hair is technically a layer that's on top, and you're changing this. Nothing else will adjust, just my hair would adjust. So if I did my hair and I wanted my hair to change, but I didn't want my headband to change, then I would have to also eliminate, like me isolating my hair would be going up to the headband and the hair part so the headband doesn't change and everything else changes. Hey, Quisha. Okay, so yeah, remember, Canva is not a vector based. Like they don't have a trace feature where you can. And so I'll show you guys what she's talking about. I'm gonna find something over here. Give me call out something that I can find and trace. Put some suggestions in the comments. And I don't know who you are, but your name look kind of, we just gonna ban you, sir. I don't look, sorry. If you really did need some help, over here you look a little suspicious. So we just gonna ban you. Okay. Let's see. All right. How do you make the transition from a hobby or side hustle to a business? It first starts with mindset, and truly going from one to the other is just about the system that you put in place. Really looking at how you're spending money out, how you're purchasing things. As a business, it's buy low, sell high. So you may end up having to put up more money on the front end to maybe buy things in bulk where it's going to make your life a little bit easier, kind of automizing things. This is just as far as just the way the business works. And then when it comes to like the legal part, or just not say legal and just structuring it, that's something totally different as well. But it's about mindset. It's definitely more money that's going to be put out when it comes to marketing, branding, doing all of the things, getting insurance, insuring your items. A lot of crafters buy a lot of really, really expensive equipment, and none of it is protected. The moment you decide that you want to make it a business and this is your bread and butter, like, even if it's not even if it's just the bread and not the butter, or if it's the butter and not the bread, you got to protect it. Like looking into property insurance, because liability insurance for your business is different. That's like being sued. It doesn't protect your equipment. And if you're renting, you don't have renters. A lot of people, even for their homes, none of their stuff in their homes is protected. They don't have renters insurance. Some people don't have their property insured when it comes to their home. It's making tough decisions like that and knowing how you're going to have to price so that all of those financial responsibilities for your business is taken care of. So many people say that, crafters, and when they're getting something handmade, it costs too much money. They don't understand, as a business, there's so much overhead if you are doing business correctly. As just a hobby, if it's just crafts, if you don't care about protecting your investments, then you don't have that expense. You're not worried about how you're going to pay that. But like for us, we have liability insurance, we have workers' comp insurance, you have insurance over all of our like equipment and paper and stuff like that. And then as owners, the insurance for us is totally different than everybody else, as far as like an employee or even workers' comp. As the owner, you don't fall under that. There's a totally separate insurance we had to get for that. So it's just taking it step by step, depending on which level you want to be in, how much you want to be protected in your business, how much you want it automized, how many systems you want in place is what's going to be the difference from it being a hobby and a business. Systems and a plan and systems. All right. So there was a heart or bear. Let's see. An elephant. Princess, you do know I know your name, right? That wasn't you that I banned. It was somebody else. Not you. Y'all never really saw, because you're on Facebook. It was somebody on YouTube. All right, so let's go and all right, so I know she says elephant because she is top. All right, so let's see. That doesn't really have a lot of separated sections. I mean, this one does. Let's see. All right, let's pull you over here. And we're going to go here and flip it. All right, the numbers have gone up some, so that means they're sending out notifications. If you are just joining, if I can get you guys to double tap the screen, I'm going to go ahead while I'm setting this up, do a little quick commercial break. I am Shakia Lavelle, also known as the Professor of HSINK365. If you are someone that's into sublimation, we have an amazing product that I do think that you should try out. It is our amazing, incredible, honestly speaking, sublimation paper that's going to allow you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees as fast as 30 seconds. I know if you've been in it for a while, you probably already have a paper. You think, you may love it, but you can definitely give us a try. We do have a sample pack that's available on our website, or just get our 8.5 by 11. Even if you have a wide format printer and try that out, it's $20.30 for a 100 sheet pack of 8.5 by 11. So you definitely can try that out. If you are on TikTok, you can go to our TikTok shop. And a lot of times it's first time customers to that particular shop. You do get coupons anywhere from 40 to 60% off. I've seen people get, and even free shipping. So check that out. If you have a TikTok account, go to our TikTok shop. Our name over there, HSINK365. I think it says Miami, so you can go and check that out. We also teach Silhouette Studio. So if you're someone that's interested in learning how to design, you're frustrated with sizing, placement, you print it out, you feel like you put on the shirt, it's not the right size, it's not the right size for your tumbler. Of those things frustrate you, you definitely want to enroll in our classes, which can be found on shop.hsink365.com. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing the live. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you guys for the likes. Oh, we're up to 3,000 likes over on TikTok. Thank you guys so very much. All right. So there's a lot of different, elephant images here, right? So let's just kind of talk about that for a moment. Let me move my head because I can't really move myself over. So I'm just going to move my head. If we're looking at all of these different elephant images, some of them are not going to ever be able to be traced for it to be to be vectorized, where you can click on each individual part and be able to change the color. It's just one big image, or you're going to have to manually trace out those areas. So like this elephant right here, with just trace, you're not going to be able to separate all of those individual colors because there's no contrast between the colors. Something like Photoshop, you can use the quick selection. You can use a kind of like a color dropper, or it'll pick up on certain colors and it will make that a selection. Then you create a layer on top and then you would fill it in with that color. And so you're going to do that for every single part on there. And you would end up with at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different layers. And then, well, even the toes. So maybe, and the tusk as well. So anywhere from 9 to, let's say, 11 or 12 layers, where each one, if you want to ever be able to change the colors individually, each one would be a different layer in order for you to adjust the colors. In Silhouette Studio, you would have to take your pen, you would have to take your edit points, not your pen tool, your edit points, and manually contour and trace around that to make that a shape. This very well was a vector file or an SVG file. Once it was saved as a PNG or a JPEG, it's no longer vector, but someone designing this would have had like a solid gray layer, probably for the body. This leg is technically in the back, so that's probably separate, or drawing out each leg and then welding, manually making all of the shadow areas and adjusting the nodes and stuff like that. So this could be, or it could have been saved as an SVG where it was going to be layered. But as it stands here, as if it's a JPEG or PNG, you can't go in and individually change it. You wouldn't be able to trace it. This one, kind of, sort of, but there's a lot of fine areas that are now pixelated. So picking those up and making them sharp, not gonna be the best either. This particular elephant here, although there is a thin black line that kind of separates certain areas, it is very, very thin. It's not going to really pick up. Same thing here. So you're looking for something that has more definition in separating the colors. So here we have thicker lines. It's not a lot of shading, not a lot of pixelation to it. This is something that you can trace. And if you wanted to make the bottom of the feet blue, red, pink, purple, whatever, you could. If you wanted to change this from gray and make it red, you could. Same thing with this one, this one. These, if you wanted to make them red, you can change the color, but you would have to, I'm going to turn this way for you guys since I'm talking about, you would have to isolate the eyes if you didn't want those to end up red as well. If you didn't want the ears to be like a solid red, you would have to still isolate those. So I'm trying to find one that I could trace. Oh, this is a great one right here. Oh man, because it looks like almost the same one. I got to move it for you guys to see. Okay. You guys see these two elephants right here? They are very similar. Actually, all three of these really are similar in how they're set up, where the placements of their arms or feet, whatever, their legs in the front, how they're sitting, the curl of their nose, the tilt of the head, the way their hair is, but they're technically all different. Now, this one I would be able to trace and then fill it in with any color. This one, not so much. It's a lot of watercolors. Even trying to like isolate it with Photoshop would be a little bit difficult just using the quick selection because the colors kind of run into each other here. Okay. So I'm trying to find one that I can trace. Things like this, you're not going to be able to ever trace it down. These are for printing. Same thing here. It's going to be best that you just print it. Let's see. Oh man. Okay, images. Duh. I thought I was on images, but I guess I wasn't. All right. Let's see. That's from Etsy. This one's proving a little bit. Okay, this one says classroom clip art. Something like this. They're so close together. There is a way to kind of trace it. I don't really care for trace by color, but that's a file that trace by color would work to be able to vectorize it. So if you sent me an SVG, that doesn't really help because I'm trying to show as far as like tracing it and how that's different. But I will look at the one that you sent. Hold on. Okay, so you sent test SVG. All right, so give me a second. Let's see. This has too much detail to ever turn into an SVG. I like this one. It has some really thick lines, and then you kind of have those shadows. But even if I wanted like in the ear to make this like you see how there's a lighter pink and a darker pink, you have to do certain things to separate this to make that a lighter pink. All right, let's see. Yeah, see, I'm not really tracing that. I mean, that one is something you just fill in with color. So if there was something that you were trying to figure out with this one that you could not do, I can answer that question. But that one doesn't really help with like trying to trace it to change the colors. There is no way to digitize with Silhouette Studio. No. Are you able to open up embroidery type files, especially like to create your cut line for appliques and things of that nature? Yes, but it is not a program where you can digitize your designs in. So, but you're trying to do what in Canva? Fill. So you want to be able to fill this in with color in Canva. Okay, why are you here? You are very welcome, the Family Focus. Hi, Sherry. Thank you for sharing the live broadcast. All right, let me see. What did she say? Can you do gradients? Yes, you can. I mean, you're just going to go to gradients, and it's because it's just filling in a color. Now, will I be able to save this again as an SVG with it in there? No, because that it now has pixels. Can you fill it in with the gradient? Yes. Can you save it as an SVG with a gradient in it? No, you cannot. All right. Hold on one second. Yeah, see, I've never, because I know someone said like if something is like layered, like to be able to click on it like it's a shape, as an as an SVG, but I don't, for me, something in Canva, I'm never going to let's see. Okay, I think you may, okay, let me do it this way. Let me set this up with, okay, what's going on with my computer? All right, did it just freeze on me? All right, what the heck is happening? Did it just freeze on me out of nowhere? All right, maybe it did. I don't know. Because nothing is moving. So we're just going to shut it down and open it back up because I have no idea what happened with that. Maybe with the one that you have, because it's just an outline, I think if you had it filled in with color, even if it was like gray, then you would be able to choose all of the different colors, but that has no color to it. If I'm not mistaken, that's what the trick is in Canva. If you're wanting to put it in there and then change it, add color to it, it has to have color in it already. It can't be just an outline. Whereas Silhouette Studio, you can open up just that outline. In Canva, you can't. So let's see. Was that the one? Okay, so we're gonna go here. No, we're gonna go here. Let's make it gray. no color. 17. All right. File, save as, save to hard drive. DST Spring 2000 SVG. Okay. And then let me see if I go upload files. Oh, I just realized I am technically on screen 1 instead of screen 2. Give me a second, and I will bring this over to the other screen. Yeah, that's what it was. It's because you had no color in it. So here is the original one. You don't see anything up here. If I come here, you see the gray. So now I can click on that and I can make that whatever color I want it to be. It's just because you didn't have any color filled in. So it has to have color. It cannot be an open SVG because then there's no color. There's nothing for it to change. Even if it's white, it should still. So we're going to go here, no color, file, save as, save to hard drive, SVG, gray, and white, DST Spring SVG. All right, so where did you go? Because I added one with color. I don't see that screen. It's at the top. So once you have it, once you bring it in. So if I click on this one, nothing's going to show up here. But this one is the one that came in with color, and the color block was right here. So if you don't see the color block, then you didn't bring it in properly. So I'm going to go upload. I'm going to upload the one that I just saved. And see now, because I put gray and white, I can even change the Spring 2000 because now I have two colors up here. So if I go to the gray color, even with it not being ungrouped, I change that. If I go to the white and change that, it's going to change. So it has to have color, and it has to be an SVG, and it has to be color when you bring it into Canva. But for everyone else, originally we were going over like finding something to trace. I still don't like any of these. I don't like none of these. None of them. None of them. None of them. I don't like none of them. None of them. None of them. I don't like none of them. None of them. None of them. All right, I guess we're going to go with this classroom clip art one, and we just going to go copy image, bring that over here. We're going to move all this to the side, group it together, paste. We're going to go over to our tracing window, select trace area, place our box around it. Of course, this is all black. You have to save it from Silhouette Studio. I saved it as an SVG. PNGs, you will not be able to change the colors. It has to be an SVG that is filled in with color. So then we're going to, I'm going to adjust it up some, and I'm going to go trace. We're going to fill this in with some color. Release compound path. Click on our ear, make that black. And then everything else, I can adjust the colors. Also, I'm going to select the face, here, the body, and make that. Okay, so I have a couple of sections I now have to click on. Okay. I'm just going to group all of that together. Select the ears and make them pink. For now, I'm going to group that together. I'm going to click on all, or drag and select over all the toes, deselect all the other stuff. Make those white. Make these white. And then this part should be gray, I think. Hold on. Yes. All right. And then this is the white of the eye. The highlight of the eye. This part should be gray. Okay. Now I'm going to do the inside of the ear. So this part, this part, this part, this part, and this. And I'm just going to make it a compound pat. And just make that back pink. So I took out the highlights. The eyebrows, hold on, shift here. The eyes and everything that is in the middle. I don't want the body. No, I'm sorry. I do want the body. I don't want the outline. Okay. And I need this piece and this piece. Ooh, wait a minute now. There we go. And turn that back gray. So I have now vectorized this. I can take this, save it as an SVG, open it up in Canva, and then I'll be able to change all of the colors individually. So how can you add a color like chrome or metallic? You cannot do that with an SVG. The only way that you're going to be able to do that is to have an element that you're going to fill that in with. In order for that to happen, it has to be a frame because that is technically a picture. So you have element, like there's no, like this here is only going to be colors. So for something like if you wanted it to be metallic or chrome, then you're going to have to make this a frame, which is a totally different process for you to be able to go in and see. Like, you're not going to ever be able, you can't crop it down. So for what you're trying to do, I'm not sure, Silhouette. I'm not sure why you're trying to do it in Canva, because you literally will do that in Silhouette Studio. You're going to look for a metallic or chrome. And you know what? I'm even going to do it like this. I'm going to still utilize Canva. All right. I'm going to go to here. Let's go back. Where in the heck I put Canva at? I'm going to go to Canva. I'm going to delete this. Let's look for Chrome. All right, let's see what they have here. That's Chrome. All right, so let's say we take that one. Okay, I kind of like that one. I'm going to open this, which I can't stand on Canva because you really can't. You're going to crop it away. I hate that about Canva. Okay, so I can't really do that one. I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to go with this one. And so let's say I didn't want to search Google for it because I have Canva. Canva has all of these elements that I can use. So I want to use those, right? Let's see. Trying to find a good one. Okay, I like that one too. So if I wanted to be able to use this, I'm going to take this and I'm going to share this and basically download it as a JPEG. Download that. All right. Now I'm going to come over to Silhouette Studio. I'm going to go File, Merge. I'm going to bring in this file I just saved from Canva because, you know, you have access to that. I'm going to take send that to the back. All right, so I'm going to take this Chrome, I'm going to select that, and then we're going to go to crop. So now if you want, like if you're designing the rest of your stuff in Canva, like if you're doing something else in Canva, so you need to take it there, then you would go in and save it as, so I don't save anything from here as a PNG because it's not, to me, it's not the greatest. So I'm going to save it as a PDF and then open that in Canva. So it would just be save as, save to hard drive, PDF, Canva demo live. Remember to delete me. And then we're going. So, but why did you want to stay in Canva? What is the end? What are you doing afterwards? Like, are you adding something to the background in Canva? Or is it just because you were able to find the background that you liked in Canva? And then I'm going to go, like, so if there was a reason for you to bring it back in Canva, you're just going to come back over here and we're going to go upload a file, or I can just drag and drop it in here. And that's going to end up going in projects, not under uploads. It's going, you'll see it upload on projects. I was able to find the color and background in Canva. So This, see what I say? You guys can ask questions. You've probably been holding on to that for a really long time. And that's a simple fix. The elements that you want from Canva, fill your page, save it. Now that is the background, that you would use, and you're just going to crop it to it. Because in Canva, in order to add things to something, it has to be a frame. So there's a lot of different steps that you have to do to make it a frame when you bring it into Silhouette Studio. So now it's under projects. I'm going to click on, oh, wait, actually, so now here is it, oh, you may have to do it as a PNG then. I forget, because that is actually how you create a frame. But I forget what they say you're supposed to do when you do this. It's not backspace. I forget what they say you're supposed to do. I think you have to fill it in with something first, because it's just going to come in. And this is what I was saying, like something that's a vector or an SVG, you can't have, that's probably what it is. You cannot have an SVG or vector file filled with a pattern. But that's kind of weird, because they'll tell you, and maybe it's just because it's Silhouette Studio. If you do it from other programs, if you watch videos, they tell you that's how to make your own frames. You bring it in as a PDF, and then I forgot if you're supposed to backspace or do something with it. Is it edit image? I really don't remember what you're supposed to do with it. I forget what you're supposed to do with it to make it where you can turn it into a frame, because I really don't try and do them all the time, so it doesn't come back to me as easy. I mean, if I was to do anything, I just don't like the PNG in Silhouette Studio. I mean, if you needed this part, then you have to save it as a PNG. Or I would go through Photoshop, open up the PDF, save it as a PNG, and then take it to Canva. I personally just don't like Silhouette's PNG for actual printing purposes. But yeah, so now you know how you would do that. Just save the background, take it into Silhouette Studio, and crop it. Canva does not have the ability to crop items to a shape. Who is that? Jeanette Allen. Good afternoon. First time here. Welcome. Hopefully it will not be your last. If you have not followed me already, make sure that you follow. I will be sure to follow back. MD, thank you for the follow. Let's see, did I miss anyone else that followed? And see, the notifications don't stay up very long when someone follows. Alexandria, thank you so much for the follow. Anyone else have any questions? Thank you. I was just telling someone that, all of the platforms kind of work together. A lot of times that's how I use Canva. I use Canva as a search engine because you can, I mean, I probably could have gone on Google and found a chrome or metallic background as well. But I like using Canva as a search engine because there's so many things here, especially with having a pro account, to where I don't have to maybe go through as many pages on Google or any search engine. So I'll just come here, find what I want, save it, and then hightail it over to Silhouette Studio to put it in my design. What did you say you put in there? Silver. Oh, you put in metallic silver. Yeah, so you had all of these different options that you could use to see. It'll never go in there, and their crop is not for that. It has to be Let's see if they have any. Elephant frame. Nope. Let me see. Nope, they don't have one. But just so you know, it would end up, see how that now goes in there? It has to be a frame that has one of these. She says, y'all better ask y'all questions because if you don't, I will. I keep trying to tell them, Princess, that I mean, I don't think there's any other instructor in the craft community that has this much experience in like a little bit of everything. There's not too many questions that you can put out there that I would not have an answer to or be able to direct you into like to find that answer. Have I used Photoshop's generative fill to add or change into an image? I am not an AI girly, so no, not really. I'm, it's unfortunate. And, a lot of people will say, oh my God, you're tripping. Like, it's the way of the world. It's the way the world is moving. You have to. I'm just not big on the art part or graphics part of AI. There's a lot of things via AI that are absolutely amazing, especially when it comes to copy, meaning text and stuff like that. I think is just phenomenal. Some of the AI stuff that will automatically edit down your videos and kind of pick out the best parts of it. There's AI that's like automatic note taking, stuff like that. But the graphics part, I'm just not there. So I don't really use it. But the foundation of it is going to be the same. You still have to know how to select the area that you want to actually fill in, and you give it a prompt. So it's no different than any other AI prompt. You give it the words of what you want it, like what you want there. It's going to give you 3 options and you just play around with them. And even with the options that they give you, you may have to still go in and do a little blending, probably merging layers so that you can then do a content aware fill or blend things out, put a vector mask. So you still, even with that feature, that could just change something out. You still need to know the basics of the software so that you can modify it and make everything kind of mesh. I knew what you're referring to. I knew which one you were referring to. So they won't be under frames. They'll still be in projects, but you have to use, like, so what some people will do is they will create it, save it as an SVG, take it into like, what's some people call PowerPoint. And then from PowerPoint, save it as a PDF. I think you can also do it from Word and save it as a PDF. Like, it has to have a pattern in it. And then once you get into Canva, you're supposed to, I think it's backspace or something. And then you're going to see that background and then you can fill it in, but it won't be under frames for you. It'll be under projects for you when you bring it in. Yeah, I'm not big on AI. All right, so let's see. I had to do some work, but I'm back now. What are we doing? We just kind of went through some Canva stuff based off a question. She says Canva has an AI feature now as well. Yeah, I'm just not big into AI. You can go to YouTube. Same place I found out about those was YouTube. I think I tried it and I could not do it from Silhouette Studio. It was like when you go on YouTube, they'll tell you PowerPoint, and I want to say it's Word. Like if you save it as it is saving it as a PDF file. That much I remember. And then I think it's like, I want to say it's backspace because this came in with black and it should come in with the pattern filled in. But I want to say they were doing a lot of it with PowerPoint and filling it in and then bringing it back in as a PDF. And then it had the whatever in it. but it just had to have a picture in there first. There's plenty of videos on TikTok about it. Not TikTok. Well, it might be some on there, but there's plenty of videos on YouTube about it. Like, no matter what it is, you have to do those steps. Oh, that's pretty interesting. That has like a filter over it. Any other questions? Ask the professor. It's not ask the professor. Hey, professor, how can I help you reach your creative goals? Your research starts here. If you've Googled something, asked something in a group, and there's still gaps for you, this is where you ask. You have an industry expert online right now saying, hey, I'm willing to help. Hey, your name came this time instead of your full name. Actually, now I see it, and it says Christina the Sub Plug instead of just your full name. Like when it just shows you're in here to invite you up, it shows me the name that I know. All right. Even though you guys have not asked the question, is there anyone that learned something new off of Princess's question? Did you guys, because I didn't see anyone comment about the tracing. Did you guys already know how to do that? That wasn't information that you needed. So maybe I don't need to do more tracing tutorials or examples. What did you learn new in tracing, Ms. Dawn? You always mess up on isolating items or sections. You got to make sure that you are practicing it. Practice, 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 practice. Don't try and just retain it from like watching a video. Practice, practice. Start with really simple simple elements or simple images. Even if you don't need it, don't try to learn with something that you have a deadline for or something that's for an order. You should always be learning from just random things so that it's not frustrating. You don't feel the pressure like, oh, I have to do this because I need it for something. Just work on learning it and practicing. Pull random stuff. The same way I ask you guys, hey, someone throw out something for me to trace. Do that for yourself. Go into Google, Yahoo, wherever it's at, and you want to find some type of element and trace it, whether it's an actual image, if it's words, if it has multiple colors, just trace it and see what happens. You can't keep getting frustrating and quit. You got to keep pressing through. You have to start off small. Repeat the same image. My cheerleaders, they know a cheer, they know how to jump, yet we do drills and we do them repetitively. Like, my suggestion, if y'all need an assignment, would be to take something like that, this elephant. Although I did it once, guess what? I'm going to do it again. Do it 10 times to where that becomes like that one image becomes second nature to you. Most people will do this. Oh, wow, I did it. Which, hey, yes, of course, be very, 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 very proud of yourself. But now go right back in it and do it again. Because was it beginner's luck? Do you really, truly understand what all you did? So if it took you a little while the first time, the second time, it should be So did it that way. And that was technically with a lot less like selecting of sections, but this is still here. I have this, and I have the background. If you have the 30-day Silhouette Studio training or course, the butterfly in there is a good practicing worksheet. Yep, it definitely is. It is definitely good practice. Like I can literally trace this and select it 30,000 different ways. As you learn more about the tools and softwares, you'll find that, there's more than one way to do it, in how you select things. Right. Whether it is designing or something with sublimation, what is it? I'm gonna be the interviewer. I'm gonna ask you guys, what is it that gives you the most, like the biggest headache? What gives you the most trouble? What is something that frustrates you, whether you are doing paper crafting, HTV, adhesive vinyl, designing, sublimation, DTF prints? What is it that makes you so frustrated? And as she said, it makes you frustrated and want to quit. Okay, what's going on with this? Why is it taking forever? I probably should stop tracing and do what I tell my students to do and duplicate. Jesus Christ. Oh, look, I'll even do this way. There's so many practice assignments, like things that you can practice on just from this one image. Oops, did that wrong. So isolate it from the body. Making it an outline. Without the face, this looks like a full-grown elephant. Hello, welcome in. There's no right or wrong order to do this in. If you are someone that prefers to hold down shift and click, you can do that. Versus dragging and selecting. Actually, no, I'm going to make these. Literally endless possibilities. But you guys got to ask the questions or just join my classes. And you learn how, and this is, and it's really like how this is set up is, more so ideal for like cutting vinyl where you only want one layer of a color. So you're going to layer it right on top. Then, if you're going to like layer everything, then I would not subtract the eyes or the eyebrows because I would have the solid black layer. I'm going to put all of the red stuff solid, and then I'm going to put the eyes, I'm going to stack that, and it's going to give it more of a raised look. So although the foundational part of it is the same, depending on what you're going to do next will be different. Like how you're going to use it. Like what's the final project with it. Your next steps after you trace it will be different. This is not the only way to do this. I could leave everything where I can select it and I can make them different colors. I just typed in elephant clip art. Like that's it. Nothing. I mean, I'm not sure how many pages I went through. I just typed in elephant clip art and went to images. One person answered. One person. I feel like I'm on here for no reason. Being creative, trying to find inspiration for designs is my biggest challenge. Look at the things around you. Look at the things around you. Before you're going to be able to just come up with your own ideas, it is okay to mimic the things that are around you. What inspires you that's around you? How many billboards do you look at and it's like, oh wow, I like that? How many window displays? Is it invitations? If you're just on Etsy and you want to do invitations, you're looking up all of the invitations on Etsy. Not to say that you're going to copy it as far as I'm going to take a screenshot, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to sell that. But no, but you can go find something and work on all of the steps to recreate it. What you see there, if it's squares, if it's stars, if it's triangles, if it's images, go find those images, put that, recreate the things that are visually pleasing to you. Your brain and like that creative part, it's a muscle. You have to work it. If you're not putting anything in, that's just like with AI. AI works off of the prompt that you give it. If you are not giving your creativity some type of prompt, it's not going to output anything. You have to be willing for stuff to look crazy, for it to look silly. I mean, you have people that sell art that makes absolutely no sense, but somebody else thinks it's the most creative, and it's nothing but a bunch of paint splatters. It might be the direction that they paint theirs or how they layer it. I'm looking at this like, how in the HE double hockey sticks is this shit selling for $2,000? Like, how in the hell? But it's someone likes it. Like, it doesn't have to make sense to everybody. It just has to make sense to the person that's making it or the person that is purchasing it. And if you feel like you can't come up with your own designs, all right, I'm going to let y'all look at my face in this because it's as someone whose stuff has been ripped off verbatim and put out there like publicly, it's not a great feeling. And I'm not saying that you have to go and necessarily sell it, but if it's for your practice, everything that you create does not have to be put out there. If you like the way that my setup was for my paper, if you want to get into selling your own paper, you like how my layout was, you like how my website is, can you practice it on your own to just kind of get in the feel of doing different things? Yes. Do you need to put it out there? No. Let it be on your computer. It is helping you with your creativity. If it is an invitation, none of these people who do invitations own Mario, Mickey Mouse, Hello Kitty, Doc McStuffin, Bluey, Paw Patrol. So whenever, it's like, oh, you stole my design. You stole from all of them because you don't own the rights to any of those. If you happen to see it and you like that it has a frame and dots and you want to go find your own Paw Patrol, you want to go and type yours out and say, you're invited to, and put all that in there, and you want to sell that to a customer, you're still doing all of the things. Like, that's not proprietary to them because they don't own it any dang way. Now, will I go and recommend that you go and copy someone's logo, their branding, all that stuff verbatim? Hell no, because then they're going to go and they're going to talk about you. Other folk going to talk about you. But you're going to get there as far as coming up with your own ideas in practicing, not ripping off and selling, but it is okay to practice these things. Work that creative muscle until your own arrangements, your own words, they start to become second nature. Hey, how can you something the image of the mat in silhouette so you can make the image bigger? I need you to rewrite that, Renata, because I feel like I'm missing some keywords. How can you, is it change the image? No, change the size? No, wait. How can you blank the image of the mat in silhouette so you can make the image bigger? Do you mean take away the actual mat part? Maybe that's what you're saying. Change it to none, if that's what you mean. So that you can make your design page bigger, go to machine and go to none. And then the mat's not there. Then you're not limited in size. We've been on for 2 hours, so you have quite a bit to watch, but all of my live videos are always up. I doesn't matter if I'm on for 2 hours, 4 hours, it's up to you if you end up watching it through, whether it's in one setting or a bunch of like a couple different settings, but my videos are always up for replay. Since I've been crafting, I look at everything in stores differently. Logos, yeah, I am the same way. Even like the chip bag, like if you like come Super Bowl, right? Some people are going to want to sell things for, the big game. When you go into these stores and they have the displays for sodas, for chips, and you're looking at how they put the helmets or the field, like the highlights and like little flashes they put, you can mimic those same things. Like take pictures. I have my phone is full of pictures where I'm seeing something and I'm just inspired by it. I used to get people's business cards and I would recreate them, like whether it's the style of it and then I put a different image in it. It could have been a business card for someone that does lawn work, right? I like the layout. Maybe they had theirs where all the other business cards I saw, it was like a triangle. Oh man, they had theirs in a circle and then they had something layered on top. Well, let me do that for a bakery or a masseuse or something like that. Like I used to do that all the time. Get people's business cards and I would go in and I'm just going to recreate this, figuring out spacing, alignment, just like all those things. I just mimic what was already done. Font arrangements, that's how you understand font styles, ones that are chiseled. Is it sharp corners? Is it rounded? Is it script? Is it thin? Is it thick? Someone asked me before, like when I said, okay, I'll put out a font. Oh, can you do font pairings? I don't know your style. The way I will pair a font might be different than how you would pair a font. Start with font. I've said that before. Start with font families. On Creative Fabrica, there's a ton of fonts that come with different styles like right into it. I can tell you two fonts that I would pair together, but you would go and try and put it together. You're like, okay, I don't understand how the professor felt like these two go together. Nothing that I'm doing works. If it has glyphs, I find that people want to overuse glyphs and then it start looking cuckoo crazy because you have too many swirls and too many things that dip, or you weren't thinking about the glyphs that dip real low and now you have to fit it into something and it has to be really, really small because you have this really long like dip. The font that you choose really does depend on what you are designing it, like what you are designing it for. There we go. There's a lot. I mean, guys, it's so much to this. If you are looking for a coach, a trainer, a mentor that's going to say that it's all easy, you can just click here, 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 here. I'm not the person for you in any way, shape, or form. Don't join my classes because I'm going to make you think outside of the box. I'm going to challenge you. If you don't want to learn like details, you don't want to learn the ins and outs, you don't want to learn alternative ways of doing things, it's like for you, your brain works where I don't want information overload. I want to know how to do it one way, and this one way better work for everything. I am not the person for you. Not the person for you. How do you use the glyphs? However you want. Glyphs are just alternative text. Some of them have swirls at the end, at the top. Some of them is the same font, but it makes it shorter. It's just alternatives. So if you mean how to put them in there, it depends on which program you have. Programs like Photoshop, Illustrator, they're kind of, you'll see it's kind of a built-in character map. If you're doing it in Silhouette Studio and you don't have Designer Edition or above, you have to go into I don't know how to use it for a Mac, but you go into character maps and you put it in the search character map. They're going to be this big, but you would find the one that you want, hit select, and then it says copy. Then you go into your design program, go into your text, your string of text, hit paste, and then it's there. Silhouette Studio has a glyph section under text. So you'll find the one you want, you click on it, and it puts it into the string of text. So it really does depend on which program you are using. I don't know of any way to use it with Canva other than maybe Character Map. So silhouette having Designer Edition or above. It's this right here. And all of your glyphs will be in here. If it has fancy glyphs, they'll be here. Some of them is just all of your standard stuff, how to add accents on top and stuff like that. So it'll all be here. So it's this icon. Wait, it is Designer, right? And not Designer Plus. Hold on. Before I tell a fib. View in Design. No, not Designer Plus. View in Designer Edition. Yep, you have it in Designer. All right, no one has challenges in what you do. So what are we watching me for? So we just come on waiting for the professor to drop a gem. We are all equal. No one has any challenges. You are a master of your craft. Everything that you do, you've mastered. You are raking in the money. You are a six-figure business because you have figured everything out. You don't need any help. You come on social media, you watch these live videos, you clicked on this video just for entertainment purposes. I want to hear someone that speaks my language, who's enthusiastic about creating and sublimation and designing. She's just as enthusiastic as I am. So I just want to watch this like it is a TV show, like I am watching the episode of The Cosby Show, because I have everything figured out. I don't require any help. Is that who I have here? Is that who I have here? Yes, in order for the upgrade, you do have to pay for it. So updates are different. Upgrades, you do have to pay for it. Designer Edition, if you go through the link that is on my website. So if you go over to shop.hsink365.com, at the top it says Business Edition, or you click the drop down, it'll say like Designer. From my link, it is $25 and the Business Edition will be $50, but it is a pay. It's not for free. You can get the basic version and you can download that. Anyone can use it for free. But for Designer, Designer Plus, and Business, you must pay for it. You forgot that you purchased Business Edition a while back? Oh, wow. I have a challenge of putting the whole design together. Example, Daisy background with words subtracted from it, then creating something like mountains with the lake that has depth. I know, and you've mentioned that quite a few times as far as like that example, mountains and lakes. So you're saying that in a Google search, you have found not one image that is close to what you have in your head as far as mountains and a lake. Is it mountains that are icy? Is it grassy? Like, so you have found not one image that is a full background of mountains, lake, and a reflection, to where all you have to worry about is the font part of it. It is not an easy task to create a design from scratch. Like for you to go in and it's like, I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen her. She does Photoshop stuff. And she'll say, this particular, to finish this image, it took me 35 hours. It took me 20 hours. It took me 18 hours. When you are creating every single, and she's making every element from scratch, it is a lot of like from pictures she's taken, or she'll go find elements and bring them in. And it's just about changing the colors or the shading and stuff like that. If you are trying to create a full design from scratch, be prepared to spend a lot of hours. And you have to know about, well, like, if you're going to make it manually from edit points and you're going to do the shapes, or you're going to find a mountain and you're going to manually trace it, or are you going to take a bunch of different triangles? Because, they're just a triangle, or you can either round off the top, duplicate it, and then you're just going to lay them on top of each other and then weld it. And then make but going through all of that to draw out each individual part, if it's for a specific project, hopefully that's not due for several weeks, because that's going to take you hours, maybe even days to do all of that. Where in the meantime, you can find the images that is as close as possible to what you have in your head, whether you have to pay for it or you can find it on Google. Everything can't be found for free on Google. I pay for several subscriptions because I don't want to create everything from scratch. It's time consuming. And most clients and like the consumers that come to us, they're not really looking to pay you for 16 hours of work to go and create every individual element. They come to us last minute. They're not willing to wait 2 weeks for you to go and design everything out. Or if you can design everything out in one day, you're still taking up my entire day. So even if, at minimum wage, let's just say, okay, well, I know here people at McDonald's make $13 an hour. So if between creating every single element of this design, if it took you 10 hours, not including anything else, I have not made your shirt, your tumbler, your nothing, you already owe me $130. How many of you guys think that your clients are going to pay for a shirt? They're going to be willing to pay you $130 just as a design fee. Just as a design fee. How many of you guys have clients like that? They're going to pay you that much. And $13 is on the lower end. If they can pay some folk at McDonald's to be a cashier, fry some fries, flip some burgers, pour out some ice cream, you should definitely be worth $13 an hour to create a design. I need your classes. Do you have your classes in the evening? As of right now, the 30-day refresher is some classes are in the evening, our study hall sessions are during the daytime, but that's not necessarily a class, it's a study hall session. That's during the daytime. As much as I would like to have all classes in the evening, I really, really can't, because I do have 2 young kids and a husband. And I'm normally up at 8. So if I always have to stay here until 10, I would never see my children. So I try to, find a balance in, way some of the classes are taught. This is why sometimes I'll do weekend classes, but they're still during the daytime. Like they're not always in the evening. I'm also in the first time zone of the United States. If you are somewhere else, what is a reasonable time for me, like starting at like 6:30, 7 o'clock for those who are like on the East Coast. Sometimes you guys are still at work. I don't really have any classes where I'm starting at like 9 o'clock. That way it's in the middle of kind of like everyone. So that is the difficult part, is that I'm on the East Coast. That was so helpful. I did not think of individual pieces. Thank you so much. I was making it all or nothing. Yeah, like especially starting out, guys. I've been doing this for 26 years. I am not trying to create every single element myself. I am not going to sit here. I can't stand it. Some people, I love them dearly. I promise you, I love them so very much. They are really cool people, but there are several folk who, well, some of them who say it, I don't really vibe with them, but there's a lot of people that will say, learn this program so that you can stop buying stuff off of Etsy, make your own designs. And I'm like, that's a bunch of bullshit. 26 years in, and I dare not try to create every single thing unless it's something that I know, like, I'm going to be able to make money off of it continuously. There's so many people who don't make chip bags, right? Their business now is, I'm not wrapping not a nary a chip bag. I'm not putting a label on a water bottle. I'm not putting a label on a Capri Sun. I'm not cutting and gluing not a nary a box, not a nary a cupcake topper. But you know what I will spend my time doing? I'm going to create them and I'm going to sell them, because there are hobbyists, there are business, there are DIY moms, dads, grandmas, and aunties who want these files, who they're not about to spend 8, 9, 10 hours to design a suite. They don't want to go and search the internet or search all these places for it. Some people have started that, and they know, because they were in it, they know how to properly size it. They know the template for it. And now their business has moved away from physical products to where I do nothing but digital. If that was my business model, if that is your business model, I can understand spending several hours to create it, because you may spend 10 hours and instead of doing it for one person, going to pay you 130. You make that to where, whether you do $5, if you do $2, if you could end up selling that to 100 people, 1,000 people, you have made way more money than what your hourly wage was. But when you're doing all of that work for one order, you've maximized. And then it's so many crafters to where they'll create something, they put it on their social media. Someone comes and says, "Oh, I like that. I want that for my kid's birthday party." And you know what 93.65% of you guys do? You don't give them exactly what they saw there. You're trying to figure out how to make it different, change it. So now you're spent what you already spent 8 hours on, or however many hours on. It's perfect. People like it. I love that. I want that. You now want to go and recreate it again for somebody else, spending more hours when you could have taken that, changed out that dang on name, changed out the dates if it was an invitation, print it out, boom, here you go. You spent 10 minutes on it. But I'm finding so many crafters and creators that feel like, because I'm a crafter, everything has to be one of a kind. Hells no. Y'all are working yourselves like you are going to burn yourself out doing that. You are seriously going to burn yourself out doing that. So I go, do you have a Cash App? Because I know you don't expect it, but I like to show my appreciation that you do for us for free do for us for free on your time. Is it here? Do I have it up here? Hold on, Miss Dawn. I think I put it in my banners at some point or another, but it's HSINK365. I don't know. My mom gets on me all the time. She was like, "Why don't you do like everybody else and put your Cash App up there?" I'm like, "Cause I don't be thinking about that, lady." Is it up here? I see. Look, I told you I don't really. I come on here to help, and for me, it's like, if you guys join my classes, you purchase my product, especially those who do sublimation. Purchase the ink, purchase the paper. That is, that helps us more than just the Cash App stuff. But, it's always great when you guys want to say thank you and bless me that way as well. I don't have one up here, so let's create a new one. It's in the description of this video, though, but I don't have it as a banner. It is at the description. That means most of y'all never scroll. So that means I'm wasting my time with my descriptions. Because that means nobody go to my descriptions and scroll down to the bottom because my PayPal is there and my Cash App. That means I am wasting my time putting that stuff in the description every single time. All right, there it is. Oh, wait, I didn't mean to do it that way. I meant to make it a ticker. There we go. Let's see. I would get up at 5 a.m. But yeah, I have PNG tree that I get elements from. I have Creator Fabrica. I still Google-ish. I have a subscription to Vector Stock. I have of course I have my Canva. I have the within my Adobe and having access to like their stock of images. What's that? Adobe stock. I have what else? I get stuff off design bundles when they had like the dollar deals and stuff like that. What other ones do I use? I think that might be all of my like. I used to have Vecties. I don't have that one anymore because it was kind of the same stuff that was on Vector Stock. But at least 8 different places. Oh, I mean, I still go to Etsy sometimes. So at least 8 to 9 different places that I will get individual elements from. I'm not trying to create everything myself. That's foolish. That really is to try and do like for the type of stuff that we're doing. You have professionals. Vector Stock is full of designs. Like if you go and look at a lot of these professional t-shirts and stuff, like they're using a lot of stuff from Vector Stock. They let somebody else do that work, and it's all about how they arrange it. Their creativity comes in their arrangement, their composition, the fonts that they choose, the colors that they use, the text that they use. That's where your creativity comes in at, not making each individual one. That's why some schools have the exact same mascot logo, because the person who was tasked with it probably went somewhere like Vector Stock or went to Google and they end up vectorizing it. And these schools have the exact same mascot. Cheer teams have the exact same mascot, exact same setup. You look at their shirts, it has the same star flares on it, because whoever designed it went to somewhere like PNG Tree, Vector Stock, or whatever, and they pulled the image from there and mixed and matched it with a bunch of different stuff. How can you make a template? Example, the boxes people use with characters. Can you do that on Silhouette? So there's a couple different, a template is a bunch of different things. How I set up for my tumblers can be a template. Knowing the right size to go on the front of an M&M box is a template. To make the M&M box, if you wanted to put something around this, you're going to measure it. You're going to take those measurements and put them into Silhouette. The box shows you how it's set up. Is this made to where it's all solid? No. There is a tab right there where all 4 sides, there will be, all 4 sides technically are together, and there, you'll have your score line. And then there is a tab on the last side, and just about any and everything that has a tab You know, it's like at a 45, or it's like it's at an angle so that it's not right here to the top. So you're going to create that. You're going to size it up, butt those together, weld them together, have your tab. That's where you're going to glue at. When you're you can take this and literally take it apart, measure it, and make your own template. And know where to put things at. When it comes to the sides, you put them opposite. So the way this is, if I were just to go like this, so when you are designing it, actually these might be the same way. But then, yeah, see, if I go like this, it's upside down. If I go like this, it's right side up. When they did this, now if you're looking at it like this, it's the right way. But if you're looking at it like to the side, it's upside down. They could have taken this and flipped it, and it would have been the opposite way, to where no matter where you looked at it from, it would be right side up. So there's layers and layers to how you would do a template, how you would put it in, how do you expect people to look at it. If it's up like this, yeah, they're both going down. It doesn't look upside down. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's a lot. What's on the front, if you just flip it around, is now upside down. So technically you can flip it to where when you're looking at it, you don't have to turn it around. That's about like design and how to do layouts and setups, knowing whether or not you flip something. It's about how Eminem didn't care that I can look at it this way and it's right side up, but on the back, I have to flip it to look at it. They didn't care about that. They wanted it the easiest way possible. Everything was flowing the same way. It was a no-brainer. You need to think about that and you need to flip it. But me as a company, I really don't care. I'm going to do what's easiest for me, which is why I'm always saying you are the designer. No one can tell you that it's wrong. I can't go and say this is wrong, that if I look at this side, it's the right way, but if I look at this side, it's upside down. You think, who is it? Not Eminem. You think Hershey gives it in? Wait, this is about Hershey, right? That's their parent company, I think. Is Eminem's parent company Hershey? I don't remember. Who is their parent company? It doesn't say it on here. Oh, no, Mars Wrigley's. Oh, duh, Eminem, Mars. That was, don't mind me. That was real. Duh, M&M. Yeah. Please hold. It sounds like homegirl cussed me out, but I don't know. I ain't gonna put it past her, but I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt. All right, well, it is time for me to go because it's only Miss Dawn that's talking to me right now. So hopefully you guys are having a great day. Oh no, that was okay. That's who that was. Please hold. Yep, it's time to go. My cousin that's from California is here. They went on a cruise, and so that was her grandmother letting me know that they're on their way to my house. So I gotta go because y'all don't talk about nothing anyway. But hopefully I will see you guys on Wednesday. Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the study hall session. And Thursday is the session on subtracting and cropping. Next Thursday is compound paths. So that's the lineup for the classes. Now, I know I did tell someone that this will still be up. I am going to delete it from all Facebook it will only live on the Honestly Speaking platform. So everywhere else, I am actually going to delete it from those platforms. So if you want to watch the playback of it, it will be over on Honestly Speaking's YouTube channel. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.